Yes, team. What's happening? Cool. Right, we are live on Instagram. What's happening, people? We're live on YouTube and Facebook's just at Facebook's being quicker than normal. So, what's happening, team? A couple of people jumping on now. 4 people on Instagram. Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is where you are. It's currently 12:15 here in the UK. Hope everyone's good. Got one on YouTube now. What's happening? One on Facebook. Cool. We'll give it a couple of minutes, as we always do, to let some of you lovely people jump on. If you guys are watching this on the replay, as always, give me a hashtag replay, just so I know how many people watch it on the replay. Can't even fucking speak today. Replay, please. There we go. Got them out. Cool. Busy one on Instagram right now. Busy one. Thought everyone might be at work or something. I was like, couldn't really get one live in a podcast done this evening because I'm busy, so I'm gonna have to do it now to still get that shit done. I wasn't sure how many people would jump on, but hey, they still get uploaded anyway, don't they? Right. Let's give it another minute and then we will get into it. Excited about this one. I feel like I've not done an episode. I've only done one this year so far, and we're like, God, just halfway. Well, over. We are what we on 20th. Yeah, over halfway through January. I need to pull my finger out, don't I? So, right. Shall we hit record and get into it? We'll make sure everything's cool. Okie doke. We're rolling. Right. 3, 2, 1. Yes, team. Welcome to another episode of the Type 1 Movement podcast. Thank you very much for being here and listening today. And I appreciate your ears as always, and also you guys watching on the live. So this episode is going to be 3 very powerful questions you should ask yourself as a Type 1. Now, we'll get into it shortly, but as I always say, before we get started, please leave me a rating and a review on the podcast app, as it really does help me promote the podcast, reach more Type 1 diabetics, and have a positive impact on our diabetic community, right? Because that's what I do these episodes for at the end of the day. And also, whatever device or platform you're listening to it on, please give it a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at Type1_Tom. I love it so much. And I always say this, when you guys reach out, you say, hey, I've been listening to your podcast and it's really helped me with X, Y, or Z. I love that. That's why I do that at the end of the day. And I do these episodes. So I appreciate you guys. So, right. I feel like we're on the 20th of January and I've only done one podcast episode this year. I was just saying to the guys on the live, I think I need to pull my fucking finger out a little bit, don't I? I'm only trying to get one in a week. And I did have this one planned for last week, but bit of excuse here from me. Now, life got in the way a little bit busy with Steve and other sort of stuff. Steve's my pup, by the way. He's doing great. For anyone that's wondering, he's doing well. He's growing rapidly. And he's really testing the boundaries now. But he's a collie. He's very intelligent. So we're expecting that. But he still needs to know that, hey, no, I'm boss. I'm your leader. But anyway, going off topic there. This episode, 3 very powerful questions you should ask yourself as a Type 1. This has come from, obviously, my experience with clients, my experience with my own like diabetes and blood sugars, and what I see around social media and I see and hear from other Type 1s. So I was like, right, I want to put this out there, and it's going to be more, it's not really practical stuff. I like to give you guys a mix of mental aspects and practical stuff because let's be honest, as Type 1s, when it all boils down to the bare bones, not running basal tests, insulin to carb, tracking food, exercise, fuck all that for a minute, yeah? When it runs down to the bare bones, it all starts in your head. It all starts in your head. And this is why I always say, like, acceptance, how you view your diabetes, how you view yourself towards it, that starts because you could know how to run all these tests. You could have so much, like, applicational knowledge, if that makes sense. So much stuff you can actually physically do. But if you're not mentally in the right headspace with how you're viewing your diabetes, you're probably not going to put that into practice. Or when you do and something doesn't go your way, you're going to get super frustrated and be like, this is shit, it doesn't work. So this is going to be more of me trying to kind of switch your perception on how you view your diabetes, if that makes sense. So the first question, very, and I want to start with this and speak about this a lot. First, very, very, 2 verys in this. Powerful question you could ask yourself as a Type 1 is, why do I want great blood glucose control? Why do I want to be a well-managed Type 1? Why do I want to improve my health? Why? And this is, I speak about this a lot, and I've probably done a full fucking episode on this in the past, but this is what we call your why. And if your why isn't strong enough, and if it doesn't drive some sort of emotion in you, when you get the bastard diabetes days that we all get, you will quit. You will stop testing. You'll be like, this is shit. I can't be arsed. Going back to eating shit. I'm not moving. Like, I'm not running these tests. It doesn't work because your why is just not strong enough. Yeah, your why is just not strong enough. So the best thing to do that I always advise, especially like clients and you guys on this, write down the shit that's important to you in your life. The people, the things that you do, your interests, your hobbies, your aspirations, future goals. Write all that down, and I can guarantee that all of them you probably won't achieve or achieve to the best of your ability unless you have well-controlled blood glucose levels. Yeah. Let me give you some examples. For me, like I like being active, going to the gym, riding my bike, running. If I've got shit blood glucose control, even though those things help, if I've got shit blood glucose control, then I'm not going to perform my best in that, right? Another thing, big driver for me is my clients. Like I'm trying to lead my clients. If I'm not leading by example and I'm not looking after my health, that's being like a hypocrite, right? I'm contradicting myself saying you do this and I'm not doing shit. So that's another big one for me. The other one is like my family, my parents. Do you know what I mean? Being able to look after them. And then the new addition, Steve. If I've not got great glucose control and I'm constantly tired and feeling shit and not looking after myself, when he needs to go on walks, when he needs to be looked after and stuff, I'm not going to be giving my best self to him. Yeah. So that's a big thing for me. Another thing that I speak to a lot of female type ones, and I've said this in so many podcast episodes, is starting a family and having a kid. That's a strong why. So that's the first very powerful question that I think you should ask yourself as a type 1. Not I just want a good HbA1c because the doctors say so. The numbers look good. I want to play fucking top trumps with my diabetic mates and have a better levels. Do you know what I mean? That shit isn't fucking, it's not strong enough. It's not going to spark any drive and motivation when shit gets tough, right? So ask yourself, why do I want great blood glucose control? Ask yourself, why do I want great blood glucose control? Yeah. That is like one of the main things. And like I say, if you're struggling with it, because it can be challenging, write down, bit of pen and paper, write down everything that's important in your life, the people, yeah, and your aspirations and your goals for the future. Every single one of those things will count on you bringing your best self, and your best self comes with great blood glucose control. That's the first one. Boom, mic drop. I could fucking leave the episode there. I could leave it there. That one question will fucking change your life and the way that you manage your diabetes, right? But I don't want to leave it there. I want to move on to question number 2. Question number 2 is a good one. And I'm going to give examples on these next couple of questions of what you should ask and what you shouldn't. Yeah. Question number 2, how can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want? Yeah. How can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want? Now, the reason that I put this question in, yeah, the reason that I put this question in, one sec, people are just saying that they can't hear me on Instagram for some reason. Everyone's lost sound on Instagram. Right, give me a minute. Guys on YouTube and Facebook, can you hear me? It's because I got a fucking phone call through there. Right, I may have to cut off and upload in. Someone let me know now. I've just switched the mic on and off. So let me know if the sounds come back. Give me a thumbs up or type in. Let me know. If not, I'm going to cut the live off. I'm going to come back on the live. Someone let me know if you can hear me. If I don't hear anything, then I'll cut it off and come back on. Right, one sec. Bear with me, you guys on. Right, cool. Hopefully, team will let Instagram jump back on because I got someone fucking tried calling me whilst I was in the middle of doing this. But Instagram should be a good enough app that it doesn't fucking cut the sound off, right? At the end of the day. Cool. Right. Someone let me know on Instagram. Can you hear me? All right. Now, is the fucking sound back? Are we rolling? Are we good? Even though it's been in 2 parts. Let me know if the sound is all right. Instagram, can you hear me? When someone says, yeah, you can hear me, we'll fucking move on. All right. Owen, can you hear me? Yeah, sweet. Right, cool. Right. So, question number 2. Let's roll straight into it. Question number 2. very powerful question that you can ask yourself as a type 1 is, how can I learn to manage my diabetes? Yeah. Someone's saying that they still can't hear me. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up, and then I'll move forward with it. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm fucking rolling with it anyway. Right, we're rolling because obviously we've got the podcast. You guys can just go, right, we've got one. You just go and listen to the podcast, or get me on YouTube, or get me on Facebook. So, this is going to be a lot of fucking editing on this, and I hate editing podcasts. Right. Second powerful question that you can ask yourself is, how can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want to live? How can I'll repeat that again. How can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want to live? Now, the reason that I put this in there is because this is what I see a lot of and that I don't think you should be doing. And it's this: what can I change about my life so I can improve my blood glucose control? Now, bear with me on this. There is some things, yes, that you can change in terms of your life if they're not aligning with being healthy. Let's just say you're eating takeouts every night, you're not exercising. All right, yes, we know as humans that's not good. We probably need to change it. But look, this goes back to, and I'm not getting at anyone low carb here. I'm going to give an example. Do you know what I mean? I've got clients that like low carb, but let's say you enjoy eating carbohydrates. This is a very strong, a very powerful example right now. Yeah, so stay with me. Let's say you enjoy eating carbohydrates, yeah, but you struggle managing your levels around when you eat them. So you decide to go low carb, but you don't like it, but you're doing that to try and improve your blood glucose control. How long do you think that's going to last? That's you changing something that you sort of like by eating carbs just to try and manage your blood glucose better, instead of saying, right, how can I learn? What can I do in my power? How can I learn to manage my diabetes and my blood glucose levels whilst I'm still eating carbohydrates? And I'll say that's a bit of a cop out for me. Like, oh, it's a little bit challenging. Fuck it. I'll just take some carbs out. Then I'll just manage it around that. No, I don't think, for me personally, like, if, do you know what I mean? Like, if you think I'm wrong, you think I'm wrong. But for me personally, and a lot of my clients, that's not right. Like, I don't think that's right. And it's like exercise is another one, right? I really like exercise. I love it, but I'm not going to do it because every time I do it, I go low or I go high. No, do it. Learn to manage. Go back to that question. How can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I actually want to live? Because I will tell you something, team. At the end of the day, if you get to your fucking deathbed and you're lay there and you're like, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do anything that I really wanted to do because I was so scared, I was so worried, and it was all down to my diabetes holding me back. If you get to the end of your life and you ask yourself that question and that's how it is, that's fucking sad, man. So right now, you can change that. So ask yourself, how can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want? How can you learn? Right, you're here right now listening to this podcast. That's learning and trying to educate you. These books, there's running tests on yourself, there's speaking to other type 1s, there's things like getting a coach like myself, there's other coaches out there, Tal, Owen, other amazing type 1 coaches. Like, these ways that you can learn. These ways that you can learn, you just need to put the time in. Instead of taking the easy route and just cutting something out of your life, yeah, because you can't be asked putting the time in, just to think that that will lead you to better glucose control. So that's the second very powerful question. How can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want? Yeah, that's a big one. And like I say, this comes in because I see a lot of other type 1s, and it just kind of get me a little bit upset, saying, well, yeah, well, I didn't go and do that because my blood glucose levels, so I'm just not going to do it. No, don't. That's like being defeated, team. Don't fucking do that. Do not do that. I will not allow you to whilst you're like in my little community. It's not happening. Right, number 3. Number 3 is a huge one. Number 3, absolutely huge one. And this is something that I am like so big on my clients with. And this is also why I did a full podcast on this. I want clients to come into my program and have some fucking bad days. And this is a huge question you can ask yourself. And it's this, number 3, last one. Why did this happen? And what did I learn? Why did this happen? And what did I learn? Yeah. Now, this is what you shouldn't be saying to yourself. This is shit. It shouldn't have happened. It's so unpredictable. What I did shouldn't have equated to this result. No. So let me give you an example. We have a bastard diabetes day and we're running high. all day. And we get to the end of the day and you're like, yeah, it's going to take it out of you a little bit, but stop and think, right, why did this happen? And what did I learn? Was you less active? Yeah. Did you miscalculate some carbs? Is your basal insulin not correct? Are you stressed? Are you ill? It's all these questions. But if you're like, get to the end of the day, like, I've been high all day, this is fucking bullshit, this. Like, it shouldn't have been like that. I give corrections. Insulin's been like water. It's so unpredictable. This is wank, yada, yada. You're not thinking clearly and learning the lesson from it, right? If that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up on the lives if that makes sense, or a fire emoji, even better. So that's something you should ask yourself, like, why did this happen and what did I learn? Not this is shit, it shouldn't have happened, it's so unpredictable. Team, I'll be honest, and I say this to my clients as well on the program and when we do our weekly workshop Zooms, like, I am still learning now. The other day, a little story for you. The other day, when was it? What we're on now? We're on Thursday, so I'm recording this. So I think it was Tuesday. I actually went up to my mum's because I had to take my dad to the Christie's Hospital. So I went there and when we left, took him to Christie's. When we left to come back, my blood sugar was 18, which was high. And I was like, fucking hell, that's a bit high for me. I could feel tired. I felt myself going to sleep. Like my eyes were struggling on the drive back. So I got back, scanned on my Libra, finger prick. Yeah, I was 18. Yeah, I was 18. So I was like, right, why did this happen? Well, I kind of know why it happened. A few things. The first thing in that morning, I changed my cannula and I used a site that probably wasn't the best. It probably wasn't the fastest. Then also, once I dropped my dad at the hospital, I went to Costa. I got a large caramel latte, like sugar-free syrup, and I got a chocolate tiffin. And I don't think, because I just bolused some insulin, and I don't think I was paying enough attention, and I don't think I bolused enough, and it probably would have needed an extended bolus for that as well. Now, I've took the lesson from that. That's just a little story. When I ended up high, when I got back, yeah, I was like, all right, I feel a little bit shit. I'm tired. It is shit, and I understand what it feels like, yeah, because I am the type one like you. But I was like, right, why did it happen? Well, look, I changed my cannula. It could have possibly been that. But then chances are it's probably the cost of the coffee and the chocolate tiffin that because I just bolused for, I wasn't thinking properly. It probably is that, yeah. So that's a huge one. Why did this happen and what did I learn? And you know what? This is another little bit of a bonus tip here. Bonus tip for you. When you are getting these bad days, you're going out of range, you're struggling a little bit. Good, because that's giving you skills and knowledge that you can learn from, that you can apply going forward. Could you imagine if our lives as a type one, some of you go, yeah, that'd be fucking great, but that's your mindset, right? Could you imagine if we went through every day 100% time in range, mega blood glucose, yeah? Well, let's say we went through every day for 10 years like that. Awesome, great. And then we have a year where it's really difficult to manage. But because you've had 10 years where you've not been tested, you've had nothing thrown at you, you've not had to like go and educate yourself or have any lessons, you're like, fucking hell, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. And that's why I always say to my clients, I want to come into my program, learn things, but I want them to have bad days because then they ask themselves that question. And I always ask it and prompt it to it. Why did this happen? Then why do you think it happened? And what did you learn? Not this is shit, shouldn't have happened. I hate being a type one and all that. I know it can be frustrating at times, but honestly, team, look at it that way. So if you take one thing from this episode, that's what I want it to be. Next time you have a bad day, remember this episode, sit down at the end of the day, look at it. Right. Let me ask myself some questions. Why do I think it happened? And what did I learn from it? What did I learn? Because that's just building sort of your diabetes ammo, if you like. The only way that you ever learn is from making mistakes and things not going the way that you want them to go. Same with anything in life. Things always run smoothly. You don't learn fuck all. You do not learn fuck all. Yeah. So a quick recap on them. 3 very powerful questions you should be asking yourself as a type 1. Number 1, why do I want great blood glucose control? What's your why? Yeah, give examples on that. Number 2, how can I learn to manage my diabetes whilst living the life that I want to live that's fulfilling for me and at the end of my days, I'm going to be buzzing, I'm going to be happy. I've lived my life. I've lived my fucking, hate saying this, but live my best life. We're going to move on because I hate that saying. I don't know why I fucking said it. Right, third one is why did this happen and what did I learn from it? Team, that is it. Yeah, as I said at the start, please leave me a rating and review on the podcast app if you got value from this episode and make sure you go and put these into action. Also, on some brownie points, drop me a DM. Let me know which of these resonates mostly with you and which of these you're going to go away and you're going to start to implement. Team, appreciate you listening today. That is it. Until the next episode, peace. Right, I'm going to go through and see if we've got any questions. Obviously, you guys on Instagram, it's going to be in 2 parts, isn't it? But hey, we have to change the title of it. Cool. Right. Nothing on Facebook, nothing on YouTube. We cut the streams on Facebook and YouTube.